All right, today we're gonna actually talk about something very important, and some topics are very, very touchy, and I feel like I should talk about it. And a lot of questions to be asked about severity of disability. What is disability, right? And I personally experienced that rejection and just a way of how I feel when people talk about disability, and especially when it's come to America, right? Uh, we talk about land of the frees, and we talk about um, America citizen, and to be America citizen, you have so much benefit. Now, it's really when it's come to disability talk of, it's really a gray line. I'm talking about a line in between white and gray or black, right? And that's I'm in the middle, right? Some people say, well, you can just see enough to do what you want to do. A lot of people know that I have vision disability. I love technology. I like to learn a lot about technology. I like to do about a lot of hands-on thing. I'm capable to a lot of stuff. In the last couple of, matter of fact, last 3 years, it more and more to make this more transparent about how people with a disability be discriminated in America. Okay, I'm talking uh, unequal access to transportation and all that stuff. Unless you have leverage in life to pay somebody to drive you around, which is fortunate I was able to do so. And because that, the opportunity opens me up. But and the disadvantage of it is a lot of job that you don't get to do what you do like that. Like for example, let me just say my biggest dream is I want to be a cable man. Yeah, sounds cool. Go to people's houses and stay installing cable. And I apply for AT&T. Well, because I don't have driver's license, I can't be a technician. I know a lot about technology, all about internet, all about those kind of things. And every time there's technician over here, I talk about to them quite a bit regarding to what I know. And they always ask me, why are you not in the field of IT? Well, those limitation of disability kick in is I'm unable to drive, and a lot of company just rejects me based on they see you don't have driver's license, they see you are disability, and you're just not good a candidate. Now, a lot of people also know as you follow a lot of my YouTube channel, you know that I'm very good at with T-Mobile, but yet I go apply for T-Mobile. Guess what happened? They rejects me because they don't know what capability I have, and that's another reason why I choose to do those video, and I choose to discover those video to just say basically giant F word to them to say, well, F you, because you see me as a disability, but I do not want myself to see as I'm disabled, that I cannot do anything. Let me tell you something in the world of people with a disability. They are the most people that wanted to fight for their life to be successful, to be more than the people that they're not disability. Keep in mind why I say that. It's not to be hard, not to be rude. It's that's true. That is really, really true. And you see those people with no disability doing crazy thing, and they, not saying that people with no disability don't chase for their dream, but you see a lot of people that have no problem. But again, that's perspective, that's judgment, right? And that's another reason why it's really, 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 really important to understand with people with a disability, they will fight with every last chance they get. And when opportunity come for them, they will chase it after it. It doesn't matter how hard it is. And I feel like it's really important to recognize whether when you work for a big company, whether it's or applying for a job, they see your disability and they just flat reject you. And my experience with Kroger are the same way. When I first started as a bagger and pushing cart, and I really want to be cashier just because that have something to do with technology. I love it, I enjoy it, and I enjoy to learn how self checkout works and how to troubleshoot, how to do those. Those are the things that your regular people will not care. You know, call Kroger technical support, tell them that here's the problem, I need to fix it. But yet, no regular on disability people willing to do. So that's what I'm just trying to give you example of, that people with a disability will fight, even if other people do not give them the chance to fight. And that's another reason why sometimes has to be a big F word into it to say, well, I do not give a crap about what you have to say, even if America has quote unquote fair job, whatever. And I think that's baloney. I'm from China, and a lot of time I feel like I'm afraid to speak up because the culture, right? You speak up, you get killed. You speak up, you get locked up. And that's shouldn't be where America's at, because it's the land of the free, right? And but yet we still have judgment, we still have perspective, we still have opinion, but we're not allowed to share about it because we're afraid to that potentially somebody gonna be after us whatever we say. You know, there's a lots demonstration of that. I'm not gonna point name out because that's controversial, and I don't want, if you know, you know. So, and that's another reason why this video is really hard. It's just because if I tell the company, I say, oh well, because I'm disability, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. Well, that's your excuse, you know. Because a lot of time in America, supposedly there's a lot of resource out there to make that accessible for people with a disability. I've seen a lot of video on YouTube. I hear a lot of people that's, well, I'm disability for that. I don't get an equal access. And that's happened every day. Unless you're a small company, startup company, you're not gonna get those special treatment that your disability. AT&T is example of that. Honestly, AT&T is. I worked at AT&T for 2 weeks, or actually 2 months, and said, F it, done. I didn't give 2 weeks. You know why? Because I don't believe what AT&T have behind it. Every company have that. Whether you work for Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, you're the same way. But to me, I just want to truly say that the world needs to change for the better, because AT&T could able to make that accessible. But you know what? Because I don't work for them, I can say, okay, guys, there's plenty of other carrier that's good you can go to, you know, because I feel the freedom of to say I am able to choose what I want. And I like competition. I like be competitive. I like the cheaper the better. Just because we all want the cheapest the better. But when a company don't give you opportunity as a disability person, You just have to fight for yourself and say, how can I make the living like every other human being that isn't disability? And the more and more and more to be more apparent to me that every day on this earth, we're numbered. Whether we know it or not, we are numbered. So make each every single day count. And that is harder to do than for me to say it, because I can sit here and tell you that to make each every day count. But when it's come to action, it is truly hard, because everybody else against you, right? Everybody else like, well, your disability for that, you can't do that. Well, also there's people that support you, that helps you, that want to see you success. I see many of those life. I see many opportunity like that. But it just those few bad apple make that taste bad. And I'm using big company just because that's true. There is a good company. There is company out there that supports with the ADA. There is company that willing to put forth effort to help with people with a disability. Whether it's, whatever. Everybody has a disability to different angle, to different degree. If you're looking at the diamond in one direction, you're gonna see different angle at it. You're gonna see different beyond points from the angle that you're standing at. With people with blind, I many times tell people that you're gonna see life in completely different angle than the people that's next to you, that's next to them, because you're not standing at the same perspective. And so for that, think logically, think in their shoes. What do they see, So that's pretty much what I had to say, and I truly appreciate for listening to this video. If you ever heard this video, great, I post it. If not, this probably will be in my archive forever. So, thanks for watching. Make each day count, and be humble wherever you are, and make the best you got, and strive to be the people that unstoppable, even if you have disability. Till then, kiss my butt. All right, peace out.